I'm delighted after the Scottish Cup semi-final last week. Fran, I thought the team were absolutely outstanding. What were your own thoughts on it?
Yeah, I thought it was a 50-50 games, but we dominate both boxes, and that's the most important thing in football. I think we have played better before against them, but the most important thing was compete, and we were very good competitors, and then get through. And obviously, we dominate both boxes. We were clinical when we have to, and then we defend perfectly, including Pam when we have to. So delighted with for second year in a row be again in the Scottish Cup final is really itself is an achievement. One step away from our dream.
Bringing Pam in has been a brilliant move this season, and also the experience of Natalie Ross coming back. The only sad part of the game at the weekend was seeing Natalie sent off in the closing seconds of the match. How much of a miss is she going to be for the final, and how important has she been to your side this season?
Yeah, both. I mean, you are talking Pam. Both Pam and Natalie Ross are very experienced players. Are players that has played in so many games at the highest level, and they don't feel the pressure in the same way that maybe very young players will feel. And that gives us a lot of calmness, a lot of composure. Obviously, different roles for both of the players, but both have been fantastic for us this season. And yeah, of course, Natalie Ross is going to be a big miss for the final. We wish we could play her, but it's not going to happen. And I think we got a squad good enough to be able to replace her and be able to achieve our dream of winning the Scottish Cup for second year in a row. But definitely we are going to miss her, of course. She's a top player for us, and she has had a fantastic season.
Coming to the league campaign, Fran, the recent match against away to Rangers had an audience in Sky of over 100,000 people, which is up there with many of the games that they'll show in the men's game. How important is it in the next number of weeks as we look to win the league, that we can turn that into getting these armchair Celtic supporters along to support the team?
Yeah, that's for us is very important. We say every single week, we love the connection we have with the fans. You can see how long the girls, each game, whether it's snowing, raining, whatever, how long they spend with the fans. They play for them. The more fans normally, the better performance. It's also very important that we have games with, if you say 100,000, that's incredible, really. It's very important to get the Scottish women game out there and to see, because it was a game that at the end obviously disappointing for both teams not to get the win, but that game had everything. It was so exciting, one half per team, and then the way we managed to equalize is almost epic. So fantastic, and yeah, hopefully together, media, players, clubs, fans, together we make the Scottish game bigger than it is now and more exciting. I think one of the best parts this season is the split. I think that has helped. It's a much better league. It's a more exciting league. Everyone, nobody knows what is going to happen, and it's exciting for everyone, regardless of what team you support. And I think that's a very positive thing, and hopefully that also help for the growth of the Scottish women game.
Do you think that the split actually is better than the men's split, which is sort of a cause that Aberdeen have got to come to Celtic Park 3 times, things like that happen? But in the women's league, everybody's playing each other home and away, and it's very exciting and also very fair.
I like it. I didn't like so much last year where we have to play again some big opponents like Glasgow City. We have to play them twice at their ground, which last year was a ground that we didn't fancy at all. This year we have better memories, but I didn't like it, and I think it's more fair, as you say. I think it's fair this year. We play twice at home, we play twice away. Fantastic, and I think obviously how close the table is just exciting for everyone, for spectators and for everyone involved. So yeah, I think it was a very good thing, and I'm delighted it happened.
Last one from me, Fran. We play Hibs on Sunday afternoon. Can we score 10 this time?
I don't think, we play against a team that they just they just got together like a week before or 2 weeks before. Players didn't gel. You could see some of them they didn't know very well each other. They didn't, and we were we were working together for a few weeks, and we were very good, like we are now. So that day we were fantastic, and it's probably one of our best games this season. I wouldn't say the best, but it's one of our best games this season. But they are a much better team than that day. This year, despite some of their players are out, but they are better organized, and I think it's not gonna. I mean, it's almost impossible. I will be happy with the 3 points, and if we can keep the clean sheet, that's even better. But we know it's not going to be a 10-0 game. We know the distance between clubs is not so much. Last time was 2-0, and they have a lot of chances. Maybe not a lot of chances, but they have a few chances. And for parts of the game, they were on top. Not long spells, but they were on top. So we know we have to be at our best. If we think we are going to score 10, then we are going to lose the game. So very, very important that we work hard and we keep the focus from the minute one, because they're a good team.
Just based sort of off the back of what David said there, specifically, what do you expect from Hibs at the weekend in terms of how they're going to come out and face this Celtic side that's kind of we've had an intense week, but a really successfully intense week, and we really seem to be flying. We've got a bit of wind in our sails. What do you expect them to do?
We have a great momentum. For us, the most important thing is how we are. I think we are in great momentum. Today training was fantastic, very, very intense, which for me is very important. So players are really competing for positions. Obviously, there are all fantastic games and nobody wants to miss, and they need to earn the spot on training. And I really, really like the intensity of training. So the focus on us is very good, and I think the momentum is with us. I mean, the three games in last week were incredible, all three. Very, very difficult games, all three away from home, and then 3 wins. Wow, it's a perfect week, in the most important week of the season until now. In terms of Hibs, it's a very unpredictable team. They have played 3 different formations this year. Even against us, they have changed formation. At times they have sit deep, at times medium block, and at times they have press us even in the same game. It's very difficult to predict what they would do. We actually don't know. We are trying to prepare for all the scenarios, but we don't know. So the most important thing is focus on ourselves and try to impose our game. But what we know for sure is it's not going to be an easy game. It's going to be a very hard game. As I say before, like last time, we won 2-0, but it wasn't as comfortable as it looked. For some spells, they were on top, and they have chances of scoring as well. So very, very important to approach the game like it's another cup final, because actually it is another cup final for us.
You said that everyone's training well and competing for spots. It has been a really intense period, and that looks to continue till the very end of the season. How do you keep the squad sort of focused, and where are you focusing the energy and the activity and training in a week like this, where you've suddenly got a little bit more space?
Yeah, so one thing we did, and I think the girls needed, especially after last week, so we normally don't give them 2 days off, so they have Monday, Tuesday off, which is, it was really needed. We told them not to think about football. Of course, we have our top-up work, because there are some players that has played a lot of minutes and some players that haven't played as many, but they are going to be needed and they need to be ready. So we do our top-up work, and then they know we have 2 teams. Who belong to each team, depend of the week, depend how they train, but we got 2 teams, and we are going to need both teams this week. But also, now we're going to 4 games in 2 weeks. It's crazy. It's really crazy. But we need to utilize all the players, because 2 of those games are obviously against the first and the third in the league. So very, very hard games, very important games, and people who play, you don't get away with 80%. You have to be 100% physically and 100% mentally. Very difficult, though. We are trying to get the best, but it's very difficult. It's very difficult to keep a player motivated and 100% when he's not playing. It doesn't matter what you tell them. And it's very difficult to keep a player fresh when he's playing 90 every week, and you got games every 3 days. So very, very difficult. That's why we have to try to our best. And I think the team that utilize the squad better is going to be the team that have a bigger advantage in terms of being successful at the end of the season.
It was also mentioned there that Hampden, the men's semi-final, is happening at the weekend. How does that make you and the squad feel when you have those clashes like that, when there's two teams playing at the same time? You know, obviously it's going to have an effect on the number of people who are able to watch, and especially the number of people who are able to be in the stadium.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is, and we just accept it. But you know, we really don't like it. First, because we also like to watch when our men's side is playing. We all watch it. We are fans as well of our men's side. So that's the first frustrating thing. But then of course, you know, we love to have big crowds. We love to have the fans there, and so many people, you know, the season ticket holders or whatever, and they are not there. At times even affect the ball boys or ball girls, and we cannot have them because they are watching the game. So yeah, it's not ideal. When we can, we avoid it. We try to avoid it, but at times you cannot, because that's the schedule is, and we just have to accept it. But yeah, if we could, I would always avoid it.
Just about availability, how soon might we see Liv Chance back in the side, and is there anyone else who might have a question mark over them in terms of availability for the game coming up and going forward?
No, everyone is fully fit. Obviously, you know, we don't expect everyone to be 100% because of when we are and all the accumulated fatigue. So there are some players that are feeling leggy. There are some players, it's normal. It happens every year and it happens to every team. But everyone is fully fit and everyone is able for selection, apart from obviously long-term injury Lucian's World Clifford and Liv Chance. We will have to wait a few more games to see if Liv Chance can play a part in the last games of the season. But we are positive she could.